Hey guys, so back with another live stream. Had to shut down the live stream and restart it. I forgot to enable the vertical streaming for YouTube, but we're back here. Should be live on X and Twitch here and YouTube. So what happened on the last stream? We were debugging the speeding alert. On the stream before that, we were working on parsing some of that driver ID data. And today we're going to be working on the driver ID front end. But before I do that, I just want to talk a little bit about what happened on the last stream. So see if I can go into my Gmail here too. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so if I come to my email here, let's put this over here. So you can see that, let's get the Twitch chat down here. Yeah, so you can see that now I'm receiving the speeding alert, right? So pretty much what happened is I had set up a hosted zone in Route 53. And I purchased the domain from a different vendor, not from AWS. And so I had to change the name server and add that MX record into Route 53. And so every time we were sending a request to SendGrid to fire off one of those email alerts, it was timing out. So that was that problem. So today we're going to be working on the driver ID front end. Then I'm going to say create new driver tables. Create driver ID or driver CRUD. Let's see. This is fixed. This we still need to do, but for now we're going to focus on this, and then I'm going to say add new driver page and perms. So now let me pull down the site here. Okay, so right now we have this coaching page, and really the hierarchy of the site. So I'm just going to show you this. So pretty much the way really like the organization and the account hierarchy works is we have so every account has an organization admin, and pretty much that so the first account that creates an account is really a human, right? So the first account that creates the organization becomes the account admin, right? And then an organization can have many different accounts. Now, the organization admin can enable or disable permissions for a specific account. And so what are permissions? Permissions are for reports, right? So an administrator can manage the accounts inside of his organization and decide. Do something. So a manager or an administrator can decide which permissions to enable or disable for a specific account, right? So maybe you don't want an account to have access to specific reports, right? Or maybe you don't want to have an account to have access to alerts or to coaching. And so we dynamically build this side navigation bar dependent on that account's user permissions, right? So if I come into PG admin here, let me just real quick, I'm gonna delete this on X. Let's go. Let's delete this previous one. Okay, cool. It's deleted. Let's delete the live stream that we shut down on Twitch real quick, guys. Okay, nice. We deleted the stream that we started and then stopped. Let's see. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. So let's take a look at accounts real quick, our accounts table. And let me see, I don't want to show any sensitive accounts here. Okay, so every account has this permission bit string, right? And so this is what determines which reports, or I guess which items are in this sidebar, right? This navigation sidebar. So if in that string of bits, if it's a 0 and not a 1, that means that permission is disabled, right? So pretty much if I disable or enable this, that will change this bit string in the database. So if I come back to PG admin, that will change this permission string here. So now what I'm going to do is, now that I kind of explained what we're doing, and then we're going to be creating a new table, right? So currently we have, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so currently we have a table called event data and event media. So anytime there's a driver ID, and let me come to reports here. Come to critical events, and let's run a report here. It's kind of a big report, but okay, so here's driver ID, right? So pretty much any time, and let's go ahead and pull up these driver IDs here. Okay, so anytime there's a driver ID that's generated from the dash camera in the vehicle, we receive an event, right? And so on one of the previous streams, we figured out what the shape of this payload was, and then we built a parser, right, to parse this data. So the shape of this data was a bit different than other events that we've received in the past. So we had to add a couple columns and some new indexes to this table, right? So these are all of the driver ID events, and each one of these driver ID events has a UUID. And so if I come back to my reporting here, you can see driver ID. So every time I get into my vehicle, it takes a picture of my face, tries to do some facial analysis, and then sends me a driver ID, right? And so the idea is if it makes a match, it sends me the same ID. If it can't get a match, it'll generate a new ID, right? And so, and these IDs in my platform are meaningless to me. So I have customers that come in, and these are just like an abstract, unique ID coming from one of our hardware partners, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to use Gemini Flash. So let's come into, and we're also going to be using Codex, but let's come here. We're going to try and build a plan to start working on this. Oop, and I realized that, there we go. We're going to start building a plan to work on this, right? So what I'm going to say is, and let's make sure we got Elgato connected properly. I'm pretty sure we did. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to say now is let's go into plan mode. I'm going to say, then first I'm just going to tell it to go start reviewing the previous commits. Right now, you're in a parent directory that is not a Git repository. Every directory inside of this parent directory is a Git repository and has its own .git file. I want you to review the commit history for all of these services and look for commits that are relevant to driver ID, or look for commits that have a driver ID or information related to driver ID in the title. So recently, we parsed the new driver ID payload and started writing it to the database in the event data table. I want you to go look at the last 20 commits and all of the relevant services, understand the flow of how we're handling this, and let me know what your discoveries are. We're going to need to set up a front end so our customers can link their existing drivers to these driver IDs. For now, I just want you to do some discovery and understand exactly what we've implemented so far. All right, so let's see if Gemini Flash can do this, guys. Let's close this stuff. Sometimes I have some trouble getting this to go away here. There we go. It's like I want to go into that agent mode where I have this full view here, and I don't know. It's fine. And guys, if you're on X right now, I don't have a great way to see the X chat. Let me see if I can get it up on my phone here. Interesting. I don't even know if I have. I might have made a mistake and forgot to. It says no one can chat. That's unfortunate. I don't know why when you start X chat, the default is no one. But that's okay. Okay, let's see what it says here. I'm gonna give it these so in a previous agent chat I had got I kind of know the tables I need to add already. I am providing some more context. In a previous agent chat, we determined that this is the table that we need to add. So right now we get driver ID events that has a driver UUID that's unique. But our customers don't know what this driver UUID is. So what we need to do is we're going to be creating a front end to display all of these driver ID events and the associated driver portrait. And then we also need a new table so our customers can enter in their drivers and their driver IDs. And then we're going to have a driver linking front end, or a new driver page where drivers are going to open up our administrators or accounts will open up that page, review all of the driver ID events and review the driver portrait images, and then link it to their existing drivers. So for instance, we might get some unique driver UUID that's not relevant to our customer, and that customer will link that driver UUID to their existing driver. I want you to rethink this plan. Okay. So here's what it's talking about doing. All right, let's just look at the plan here. Okay, so we're gonna create a drivers table. I thought I had a driver linking table too. Oh, yeah, I forgot to. I forgot to provide this context to you. So give me your thoughts on this. Do we need two tables? Do we need a driver's table and a driver linking table? Give me your thoughts on this. Remember, go check the commit history in the other services and do a git show on any commits that are related to driver ID so you can understand the complete flow of driver ID and how we handle those events today. And that will give you a better understanding of what we're doing now. Okay. Okay. Profile the driver. Okay, good. Camera mapping table. Maps camera UUIDs to drivers, including an audit trail of who performed the link. Okay. And I probably don't need to do this, but what I like to do too is I'm going to paste my ERD into the chat here. Let's go to PG admin here. Oh no, I have it downloaded already. Hold on. Let's go to my Finder. Okay, there we go. I pasted the ERD diagram. Review the existing relationships of our database and make sure that this schema for these new tables is the right way to do this. Okay, let's see. Okay, cool. So here's the new table that we're going to create. Camera mapping table. So here's where we map the UUIDs. And then we're going to create a new module in our account service. So this account service has a bunch of different controllers for different API calls, right? And so we're going to set up a new controller and a new service, right, for this drivers module. Oh, okay, I forgot to tell it. Okay, one thing that we need to consider is permissions. So today, in the accounts table, we have a permissions bit string, and we dynamically generate the side navigation bar depending on an account's permissions. I want you to review this. Look into how we added the coaching page. So recently, we added a new coaching functionality, and we created a new page. There's some JSON where we're going to need to add the new page to the JSON file. And just review this. It's been a while since I looked into how we dynamically generate the navigation bar. Okay, here we go. Okay, now the navigation is generated via DFS. Let's go into agent mode real quick. Give me the file names that handle the dynamic navigation bar. Okay. Yeah, so here's how we handle the navigation bar. Okay. Here's the code that handles okay, cool. So the acronym DFS, dynamic file search. Okay. It's a dynamic navigation bar, pretty much, depending on the user's permission. So I just wanted to make sure that because we have this mock navigation bar sometimes when we're doing development work. Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's go back to the plan. Let's see. Let's go to... Will we need to grant any permissions to these tables? What permissions will we need to grant to them? I mean, like, we may need to grant read and write permissions, right? Okay. Okay, so here are the grants. Okay, did you add this to the plan? And hey guys, I know if you're watching on X right now, I forgot to enable the X chat. The default setting is don't allow anyone to chat. And it looks like once the stream starts, unfortunately, I can't change that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think so. Check one more time here. Yeah, it's grayed out. So anyways, so okay, so this looks like a pretty good plan here. What I'm gonna do is, so I use Gemini 3 Flash to build this plan, and let's go back into agent. I should go ahead and manually create these tables in Postgres now, right? We may actually try to build this full feature. Hey, you are Kiss. Hey, man, how are you? Okay, so let's go ahead and create this table. I already know the answer to this, but... And so creating these... You reviewed my ERD diagram, right? And creating these tables won't cause any service interruptions. So I just want to make certain. Okay. Okay, go ahead and give me the exact queries that I need to execute. Give me the queries one at a time. Okay, so here's the table, drivers. Let's go ahead and create this table, guys. Okay, we just created that table. Okay, you can give me the next query I need to execute. So guys, we're creating the new tables for drivers. And so if I, bear with me. Huh, hold on. Yeah, so pretty much we're gonna have a new page here called drivers. And so just like we have alerts, reports, footage, coaching, right? We're creating a table that's gonna store the driver information and handle the driver linking, right? And so pretty much this is where when customers come in to the administration dashboard, like this is where they add devices, or really it's where they add devices, modify the organization information, but we're going to have a new option to add drivers. And so I actually need to say that in the plan here. First, I'm going to just go ahead and create this one as well, this table. Nice, so we just created that table. Okay, great. I just created these two tables. What's next? Okay, now we need to create these indexes. So the indexes, guys, are kind of like a table of contents for a database, right? So, and please follow and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. It helps a lot. Really doing a lot of vibe coding on this channel. So, and really, so what's an index? So an index is really like a table of contents for a book, right? So if you imagine, okay, in a book, if I have some specific information I need to find, I can just look at that table of contents and go to that specific paragraph instead of having to scan and flip through the entire book, right? So let's go ahead and add these indexes. It helps us retrieve the data faster, and it's not as expensive when we do that. So, okay, nice. So we created these indexes. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back into plan mode. And one thing I forgot to do is, okay, so one item that I forgot to mention is right now we have a devices administration view where an administrator or an account can go in and add devices into the system. So we're going to need another screen to add drivers. So very similar to the way that we add the devices, we're going to need to add drivers. So we need a front end view to do that. So guys, again, let's go to here. Nice. Okay. So, and I just want to make sure I don't reveal anyone's name here. Yeah, so right now our platform has a way to add devices, right? And so we're going to be adding another item here, or another page to add drivers, right? Okay. So let's see. So what I'm going to do, I'm also going to bring in Codex 5.2 here. I want you to review the markdown file with the plan, and then give me the plan in one raw text string. I need to pass it to another agent. Review the markdown plan and give it to me in one raw string, text string. I need to pass it to another agent. No, I don't want bullets. Just give me one raw text string. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, beautiful. So now I'm going to grab this. Come into Ghosty. And guys, please like and subscribe and follow if you haven't already. It helps a lot. If you guys are on X, I see that there's some people on X, guys. Sorry, I forgot to enable the X chat today. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste this into Codex here. And oh, okay, here we go. Then I'm gonna say we're building a new driver ID front end and new CRUD setup on the back end, so our customers can add drivers, delete drivers, and the front end is going to help us link driver ID events to our customers' drivers. I want you to go review the commit history in the services that are handling these driver ID events. Recently, we implemented driver ID, so we parsed the new driver ID payload. We're now putting that into the database. So I want you to go review the commit history in the Nest service and do a git show to see exactly what we did in those commits. Look for commits that are related to driver ID changes, and then review this plan and give me your thoughts. Do not make any changes. Assume that you are a top IC developer at a FANG company. Guys, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Okay. So, guys, I'm gonna see if I can get a top off on the coffee, bud. Okay, I'm back. Ooh. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, Codex is still reviewing the plan. Let's come back to Cursor. So what I'm going to do first is, before we do this, I'm going to go back into agent mode. Okay, so I can see it in the plan, but which services are we going to need to modify to make this happen? Okay. I want you to check git status in each one of these services. Okay, can you check out to or first I want you to check out to main in each one of these services, pull down main, origin, make sure we have all the latest code changes that are on main. Then I want you to check out to a new branch with an appropriate name in each one of these services. I want you to run these commands one at a time. I want you to CD into each directory and do these commands one at a time. I don't really trust Flash yet to do these. I mean, I could have reviewed that command, but it's trying to do them all at once, but it's easier for me to review it this way. Just make sure that... Wait, what? Hold on. There we go. And please like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. It helps push the content out to more people. Nice. Okay, cool. Hey, Atha, how are you, my friend? Hey, just doing some vibe coding, hanging out. I'm building the driver ID front end right now. So just put together a plan with Gemini Flash. Then I went to go run git status on all the different services. And now we're checking out to a new branch, and we're going to start working on our plan. And guys, if you're watching on X, again, it's unfortunate, but I forgot to enable... I forgot to enable chat. So if you're on X and you're trying to chat, you're not going to be able to. But if you have questions, just leave a comment on the live stream video. So, okay, let's check out to this branch here. So this is what we're about to do. Well, that's kind of... It removed that... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. Huh, it went ahead. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna save these. Okay, good. Okay, it started making the changes. I didn't tell it to do that yet. It's okay, though. It's in agent mode. I'm gonna say... Why did you remove those queries from the plan? I know that we executed the queries to create the new tables, but I want to keep that in the plan. Can you add those queries back to the plan? You can notate that we completed this and we added the tables, but I just want those queries to remain in the plan. So we're trying Gemini 3 Flash today. I'm going to see how much I can do with Gemini Flash. Okay, so these are the table. I really wanted to get this back so I can show the stream, but these are the tables. It's working again. Hold on. Okay, don't start working on the plan until I tell you. See how it responds to this. Okay, so these are the tables. We just added these to Postgres. So now you can see we have. Let's see. I don't know why they don't show up there, but let's see. Okay, so we have the drivers table now. Yeah, so I'm using Codex right now. You know, personally, Gemini 3 Flash, I like Gemini for like architecture, big system thinking, but what's been happening with Gemini is when I'm using Gemini 3 Pro, I'm using it and it's not reliable. It just stops working. You know, I'm in the middle of a chat and it just stops. Doesn't like complete the work. And so Gemini 3 Pro has been really hard to use. So right now I'm using Gemini 3 Flash. When I'm really doing focused work and working on the production system, or if it's a very delicate change, I still think Opus 4.5 is ahead of the pack for coding. It's just kind of expensive. Now Opus, when you're really talking about like big system thinking and abstraction and understanding, you know, microservices and how to handle things and kind of more of that big system thinking, I've been impressed with the Gemini models. Now, Codex, CLI, if I have a very, very challenging bug, or something that all the models will have difficulty with, you know, my most challenging bugs, I use Codex usually. But let's see what Codex thinks about this plan. So what I did was I was working in Cursor, and I put together this plan. Then I told it to just give me the raw text string, so I can take that plan and paste it into another agent context. So I did that. Now let's look at what Codex is saying here. So here's what we did on previous streams. So we added these driver ID fields to our incoming data type object. So we updated our incoming service. So in the past, we hadn't ingested this data for driver ID, and the payload, the shape of the payload was a bit different. So now we are bringing in that data. And I'll just show you what that looks like. I know there's some maybe new people joining the stream, but let me comment this out. Let's just show you this driver ID. Okay. So here are these driver ID events. So if I go to event type, so these are all driver ID events. Then we've got the driver UUID and the percent match, which I noticed is all null here, so we're gonna have to look into that. Shouldn't be null. ID, content type. We're gonna actually ask Codex about this after we're done reading it, but let's see. Okay, so because right here it says that we're supposed to have percent match in the event data table, but we don't, so we got to look into that. This is all just logging stuff. I'm gonna paste these. Okay, I do not want you to make any changes to the code or the plan, but this is a plan review from another agent. I want you to review this plan review and give me your thoughts. Think deeply about this. Do not make any modifications to the plan or any modifications to the code yet. We're just brainstorming together. Guys, I might switch up the music a little bit. Let's see. Let's go with maybe we'll keep the house, but we might just change the song here. So let's see. Okay, yeah, so what's going to happen is if I come back to this table, there's a driver UUID, and there's a lot, like this ID has been matched many times, and we only need to show one of them if it hasn't been linked yet, not every single one. So that makes sense. Let's get some lo-fi on. Let's see. When you say what's that on the top left corner? Oh, that's just old school RuneScape. So, like, I know it's kind of hard to see, but pretty much it's just this game. I'm not a hardcore gamer, but my buddy got me into this old school RuneScape game. It's just like, it's an easy game to AFK where you just do skilling. It's like right now I'm literally just chopping down trees, and then I put them in the bank. What's really cool about this game, Old School RuneScape, is it has an open source ecosystem, right? So there's a lot of development stuff we can do with plugins. So there's a whole open source ecosystem called RuneLite that's on top of this game. And so at some point on this stream, the idea is we may build like a plugin that we can use in this game, and we'll write the code on stream and we can open source it so everyone can look at that code and review it. So really it's just it's a video game pretty much that I AFK. It's like right now I'm literally just chopping down this tree while I'm letting the agent work, right? But yeah, if you're interested, it's Old School RuneScape RuneLite. And they have a huge open source ecosystem of stuff, which is pretty cool. So, yes. I don't want to worry about... I kind of want to maybe delete all drivers. let's not worry about this one for now. Add the other relevant items. If they're not overly complex and you think they're doable, add them to the plan. Yes, I'll show you. So they have, let me see. So if I just go to RuneLight, so this is an open source framework that's on top of this game. So, and this game's written in Java, but if you like look at the issues, like there's tons of activity. You know, it's a very, very popular game, and you can kind of look through some of these issues to see what different developers are working on. You can look at the different plugins in the game and go check out the code for that plugin if it's like a plugin that you're using. It should be pretty fun actually to do this. But yeah, not a super hardcore gamer, just really casual. Honestly, it's just my buddies call me and they say, hey, get on the game, and I get on. But anyway, so back to Cursor here. Okay, so we added some stuff to the plan. For better scoping, okay. Say. Okay, I already executed the queries from before. Give me the select commands to find the current columns in the table, and then give me the command to add the new column if we need to add a new column. Okay. Let's just go grab the columns real quick. Okay, these are the existing columns in the table. Review them and then give me the query to add the new column. Okay, so right now we're just adding a column to this table. Nice, so I just added that column. Now we're just going to check it again. Nice, so we can see... Okay, we added the column organization ID. Nice, okay. So, let's get a sip of coffee. Okay. So, nice. So now we got that. Okay, cool. Okay, great. We're ready to start working on the plan, but I want you to be very precise and delicate. This is a production system. I don't want you to implement any breaking changes. No, I can. Let's ask Codex about that right now. It's not, I don't, I know I can keep moving forward without doing that right now, but let's just go ahead and let's see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and, No, let's do it in Codex. I noticed that the percent match is null in the event data table. Can you review the Nest.js service or the listener service and help me understand why that data is null? The reason why I maybe was a little hesitant to look at this right now is to get this date to get the event to come into the listener. I have to go drive my car around, and the payload of this event is a little different than some of the other events, and so I'm assuming that it's a parsing issue of some sort. Like the data comes in, but we're not parsing that data correctly, and so it's null in the database. Should be a pretty straightforward fix, but let's just ask it this, and I'm gonna say I included the results from the table where you can see that percent match is null. Are we having a parsing issue, or how are we parsing the percent match attribute? I'm gonna use the restroom real quick while that's working. And guys, please like and subscribe and follow. It helps push. Okay, let's see what it says. Uh-oh. No, the camera does send this. Huh. Yeah, the reason why I may have to do this later is, or first let's go see if we can find the payload real quick. 1 second. Let me see if I can find this driver ID payload in an old cursor chat. 1 second. Sometimes these cursor chats expose some sensitive stuff, so I want to be careful here. See if I can find it. I know Can you try to grep the driver ID payload from the Nest logs? I know this is going to expose something sensitive potentially too. Hold on. See if this. What does the? Can you give me the full driver ID payload? Can you give me the full driver ID payload? Okay, nice, I got it. Okay, so, hold on. Let's bring this back over here. Okay, so here's the... Let's go to Codex. This is what the driver ID payload looks like. Wait. Wait, I don't think this is actually it. I know that percent match is in the data. Hold on. That's not it either. 1 second. Hold on. We're gonna try to check another agent chat real quick. I'm still looking through this chat to see if it's still not it, I don't think. Let me see. Planning, driver management, and linking. Okay. Yeah, sometimes looking through chats, it's not the hardest thing, but yeah, I don't know. I need to get the exact, I thought at some point I provided an exact example of driver ID. Can you try to grep the log to find it? The only reason I'm hesitant to grep the log on the stream is because I think that log might be printing one of the API keys. Just check in the in this chat to see if I ever pasted it in this chat. I might have pasted it in Slack too. If I can't find it, we may move on for now. Let's see. You know, maybe percent match is not in the actual data, but let's see. We'll find out eventually. Yeah, I'm gonna move on from this for now. We gotta print that exact and I don't need it right now to finish this work, but I pretty much need to go drive around, print the payload, and then see if that item is in the payload or not. Let me see, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna move on for now. So, and really the percent match is not the most relevant thing for my end customer right now. But so okay, we added this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say okay, what's the next step? Use kubectl to grep the logs for this deployment and grep far back. Try to find a driver ID event. We need to look at the full payload. Okay, I need to think through this a little more in a minute, but let's go ahead and move forward. Okay. Okay, that's done. So these are called constraints, and they're like foreign keys. So give me the command to check the current constraints, and then tell me why we're using these constraints. All right, so let's check these current constraints. Okay. Okay. So these are the constraints. So we have one constraint, which is the primary key, and the primary key needs to be unique. Now here's our primary key, ID. So this is our unique identifier. Yes, give me the index queries and explain the primary key again, are we using a, what are we using to create this primary key? I think it's a built-in Postgres. Okay, we already did that. Okay. Okay, yeah, we just use mongo.objectID to create that primary key. Gotcha, okay. So let's just look at the constraints again, just so we understand them. Yeah, so driver UUIDs need to be unique. I'm just gonna say explain this. Explain this for a layman. Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. We completed this. What's the next step in our plan? Okay, so now we're gonna implement the controller. I'm fetching these logs right now, and these are live track. There's going to be a ton of live track data in the log, so just a heads up. still, excuse me, still kind of trying to find that payload, because now I'm curious if percent match is actually in the payload or not. I thought it was. And while that runs, we'll keep moving here. What about the page and setting up the new page first? Can we do that first? We may need to modify a permission bit string, and so that's why I want to do this first. Yeah, it's called the depth first search. Yeah. All right, let me go get the bit string in my account. Okay, can you commit these changes with a short and sweet commit message and then push to origin? Using the restroom. Okay, okay, I'm back. So, hold on, this command's a little scary here. Hold on, run git status first. What did we do so far? Hold on. I did see it create a directory, but I thought it created a directory drivers in reports. Interesting. Let's click skip. What I don't like right now is I don't hold on. Okay. Let's see what files it actually did add. This is where Gemini Flash is getting a little sketchy on the edits here. From reports. Okay, so what are the Pages app drivers? It thinks it... You didn't even add anything to reports yet, right? Run git status. I don't see those directories you're talking about. It almost tried to delete my couple directories in my code base. Huh. Whoa. That was kind of scary. Look at this. It was trying to delete like my whole entire front end and my whole entire account service. I was paying attention though. I mean, it's all version control, so I wouldn't have. So why did you keep telling me that you added some directories in reports when you didn't? You added some directories to NextTS. I want you to run git status in accounts and NextTS and then tell me the exact changes you've made so far. Be very precise. Excuse me. Make sure to run these commands with full permissions. Okay, hold on. I just ran a git status on reports and I don't see the directories you're talking about. Kind of freaky here, but Gemini 3 Flash is hallucinating pretty aggressively right now. It's trying to delete 2 full directories. These are my services. These are critical services. Why are you trying to delete them? If I had an intern doing that, I'd escort him out of the building. Oh, here it's in reports. Okay, they're not even tracked by Git. Okay, run git status on accounts. Okay, so this is where we're adding a new page. So right now we're adding a page to this navigation bar. So we're going to be adding a page to that nav bar. Sorry, someone's calling me. Okay, so this is good. We made this this one change here. I'm just gonna triple check just because Gemini Flash has been a little just run the git status ourselves here. Okay. Just triple check, run a git diff. Okay. So I can see that we added these pages. I'm gonna say, okay, you can go ahead and commit that change in accounts, and then let's push to origin. Sorry guys, I'm getting some messages. 1 second. Okay, so all right, let's add this beautiful nav bar structure. Okay, good. Now it's going to do the commit. Excuse me. Nice. Now I'm gonna open up GitHub. Okay, we just pushed this. You guys are gonna get to see BugBot too, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's go to accounts. All right, so when I create this pull request, you're gonna see that, okay, here's BugBot working, which is pretty cool, actually. So, BugBot, and this is a cursor feature. It does cost some additional money, but because I push so many changes, it's good for me, and I'm managing a production system, so it's helpful for me. So it says adds driver section with sub items. Okay. Nice. Okay. No changes to the existing nav items. Let's see real quick. Hold on. Footage. We're also going to need a okay, here it's going to be in settings. Nice. Here's drivers. Okay, this is good. BugBot's still running. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and merge this. Okay, now I want you to run git status in the next TS front end service. Okay. Okay, can you add these new files that we created and then commit them with a short and sweet commit message and then push to origin? Ooh, well, hold on. Hold on, you ran git add for all changes in the directory. Make sure that that git add command only added the files that we were working on. Okay, good. I guess it was a new branch, so okay. Yeah, go ahead and commit these changes and then push to origin. Nice. Okay, hold on. Okay. Just bring this up here for 2 seconds. Okay. So, okay. So this is, we just added these new pages here to the front end. I'm gonna create the pull request. And then, now we got BugBot working here. So we'll wait until BugBot's done doing its thing. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. We're working on telematics video. Right now we're working on building a new page called drivers, where we're going to be linking driver IDs to real human drivers. So right now we have a critical event video camera that is taking images of drivers' faces, and we're doing driver ID. So pretty much we're trying to match up these pictures of faces to actual human drivers, and really assign drivers to vehicles, right? Because right now we have coaching events, which are awesome, and we're doing a lot of AI analysis on coaching events, but right now we only know the vehicle, right? But we don't know who the driver is, so it's important that we figure out who that driver is. And okay, the bug, this failed, which is interesting. I could have waited for BugBot there. Hey, let's see what BugBot says. Okay, so what? Hold on. I think it's the way that the child components it. What was the exact error? Let me see. Oh, like when it does that, it's because my parent directory is not a. Before you do any more work, describe the exact error to me and why it happened. I want you to review how we handle this on other working pages and do it in a similar fashion. We have some of these components built out already, so you need to be using any of the existing components, including ensure perms. Let's just paste that in too. And guys, this is all Gemini 3 Flash today. I'm actually going to see if we can get the whole thing done with Gemini 3 Flash. Okay. Okay, we just pushed it. Interesting. So okay, so we pushed a new commit. So this was the first commit. The build failed. Now we got a new commit that made these changes. And now we're going to see what BugBot says after that. Interesting. So BugBot didn't run again. I was kind of expecting it to run again. Interesting. See if we can figure out how to get BugBot to run again here. Interesting. Yeah, I have an open PR. The build failed. Then I pushed another commit. It triggered a rebuild, but BugBot didn't run again. Guys, I'm gonna use the restroom again. Been drinking a lot of water here. Yeah, I don't know if I can force BugBot to run again, so we'll have to... Now, this keeps happening, I've noticed, with ChatGPT. They have some type of bug where this modal sometimes gets stuck and I can't move it. But let's just grab all of these. Let's go to... Let's grab this one. Have you addressed all of these potential issues? The build failed. I don't think the most recent build failed, but I'm just gonna say that. I need to look into prefer mock data a little bit. Oh. It'd be nice if Cursor, when I have an open PR and I push a new, maybe something, a build breaks, and then I push a new commit. It'd be nice if BugBot could run again. I'm sure there's a way for me to set that up. Let me check how many X viewers we have. Got 15 people watching on X, guys. I forgot to enable the X chat, so unfortunately there's no chat on X. But if you guys have any questions, you can just add a comment on X, and I can try and get back to you. Hold on, I'm gonna send a quick message here. Okay, let's see. Okay, it passed. We're gonna merge it. Let's go. Okay, so this finished building too. Let's see. So once this is next TS, what I could do is say, can you do a rollout restart on the accounts deployment? Just use kubectl to check the deployments. Just run kubectl get deployments and you'll see the deployments. Then look for the accounts deployment, and then we're going to do the rollout restart. All right. The front end and accounts Docker image is done building. It needs to run that with full permissions. Nice. Okay, we're doing the rollout restart on accounts. Nice. Then we're gonna do it. Okay, let's do a rollout restart on the next TS service. Once this is done, we'll do that. Still waiting for these replicas to Okay, nice. Now let's do it on the next TS. Okay. Nice, so we have drivers here now. Okay. I'm gonna say... I need you to add an icon next to the driver's navigation item. Add an icon using the same library that we used for other icons. I forget the name of the library, but use the same one. Find an icon that's relevant. So we did get this here now, guys. So this is a dynamically fetched navigation bar, right? So trying to remember my file name. I just want to show you guys the mapping components. Okay, yeah, so here's a JSON file, and this is like called DFS. And so depending on what the account's permission bit string is, so I have, let's see, hold on. Yeah, so depending on what this account's permission bit string is, that determines, and we have permissions and accounts. So if I come over here, let's go to organization. Yeah, so if I wanted to enable or disable permissions, an account administrator can do that, right? And when you enable and disable these permissions, it will modify the permission bit string here, and that is what determines which side navigation items populate here, because sometimes you don't want accounts to have access to every report in the system. Hey Spet, how's it going, man? So let's come back to cursor and let's see. So we're adding a icon right now, an open source icon for this new drivers page. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay. You had to make modifications to accounts and the front end service to add this icon. Thanks, Spet. Okay, I want you to commit these changes only, or add these changes only, then commit them with a short and sweet commit message and push to origin for the account service and the next TS service. Okay. So let's come back here. Okay, so here we added the new CSV. That's next TS service. It's next TS. Then let's here's accounts. Oops. Okay, guys, now we got BugBot running on every PR. So there BugBot goes. It's going to leave a description. Here's BugBot again running. It leaves a commit message. Yeah, I am an old school RuneScape. Yeah, so just literally chopping some wood at the woodcutting guild. I'm not a super hardcore player, to be honest, but I played when I was a kid. And I have some friends that are playing right now, so just made a pure. I'm still at 1 defense, just kind of doing some skilling. Just a little AFK wood chopping in the back while I let the agents work. No, I'm not doing an Iron Man. My friend is, though. I actually, one thing I want to do on this channel is, you know, do some market stuff. See if we can make some money in the market. You know, look at some of the different plugins and RuneLite. Maybe see if we can make some contributions. Something like that. And guys, if you haven't followed or subscribed, please do that. It really helps a lot. Helps push the content to new people. So let me go ahead and merge this. And let's merge this too. Okay, do a rollout restart for accounts. Yeah, so my dev background is, I really started as a business guy, and I worked with a lot of engineers that worked for me, and I really have always loved technology, and so I really absorbed a lot of this knowledge along the way, but not a classically trained computer scientist. But so this is the project. So this is telematics video. So we have dash cameras in vehicles, right? We have locations of the dash camera. I can look at location history, right? So look at these location events. Look at any trip history, right? So where was that vehicle traveling? And kind of take closer look at these different distraction events. So the camera's recording, doing like AI stuff at the edge. So lane departure warning, um, distraction, fatigue, cell phone use, quick acceleration, hard brake, hard turn, right? A shock, severe shock. We generate these events, and then we have different enterprise reporting. We have real-time alerts, and right, we have coaching. And so this is something that I've done. Yeah, self-taught. And this is something I've done all vibe coding. So I'm using some of the industry standard open source pre-trained models for object detection and depth estimation. So pretty much we triggered these events from the dash camera, and then using models to try to do AI analysis on these events, and then getting as much context as we can about these events, and then helping essentially the fleet safety manager or whoever is the administrator of the fleet provide them with a tool set or a toolkit to try to make sure their operation is safe, right? And so pretty much we do this video analysis. We say, all right, these are the objects that we found in the scene. We give a 3D simulation or an event reconstruction of this event. And then we provide like a worksheet, right? Saying, all right, we identified these different objects in the scene. We think this is a risky situation or not a risky situation. And then helping, that administrator or that fleet safety director or whoever it is, make decisions, right? So we got this telematics video product. Then we've got a product, BlueCactus.ai. And this is a voice agents business, and a lot of this code is built out. We haven't worked on this yet on stream. I'm still trying to wrap up a few things on the driver ID side in this safety platform, but eventually we're going to be building Blue Cactus AI, and a lot of these microservices are built out. We have like embedded intent classification. We built out the OpenAI chained architecture. So we're doing the speech to text and then converting the text back to speech, all going through the Twilio network over the cell network. So we're also be working on that, and then maybe some old school RuneScape. Just looking at some plugins. We may try to create a plugin together. So lots of exciting stuff coming. Let me see if these are done here. You go to let's see. Okay. Well, this was next TS. This is accounts. Let's go to okay. Okay. So now I'm going to say, let's do a rollout restart on the next TS front end service. Oops. Music turned off. Let's go over here. Okay. Nice, but that icon kind of sucks. It's just like a square. Let me actually use Opus 4.5 for this one. Okay, we created a icon for drivers, but it's just a square and kind of looks ugly. What can we do to make it look better? Work on this icon. So yeah, so Gemini Flash did make the icon. But it kind of but this I don't know if I just like this square. I wanted something a little better. So I switched to Opus to see if it can do it. Okay, it's creating a new icon. Okay. Okay, no, we went to next TS. Okay, pull request. Guys, let's try to get something. Hmm. Okay. Pretty cool. Bugbot was able to look at the SVG and see what the shape of it was, or I guess what it's trying to create. Let's merge this. Docker image is almost done building. Nice. Nice. Look at that. It's a steering wheel. It's pretty cool. Okay, great. We got the icon working. What is the next step in the plan? Just tell me, but don't start working on it yet. Okay, go ahead and build the CRUD controllers and services and accounts. First, I want you, though, to check out to main in accounts, pull from origin, get all the latest changes, and then check out to a new branch with an appropriate name. So guys, actually, I think after I check out to this branch, what I may do is I may end it for now here. It's really good, though. We added our new tables. We made some good progress. We added our new tables to add these drivers in there. We added our new drivers page. And I think I may actually... I'm not sure when the next stream will be. It may either be later today or tomorrow, or the day after. But what we're going to do is we're going to create the CRUD controller and service in the accounts service, and that's going to allow us to add drivers and delete drivers, right? So we'll be able to add drivers and delete drivers, and then we can start working on the driver linking. But we're able to dynamically generate this navigation bar, and we added this SVG, and we built out a plan using Gemini Flash to complete this work, and we reviewed the plan, and it seems doable, and it makes sense, and so we're in a good position here to finish off this feature. So for now, I'm going to end the stream here, but I'll see you guys soon. Huh. Are we still live, guys? Hmm.